Hello, friends. Uh, Today we are going to see how to apply for OCI, Overseas Citizen of India. As you can see, the first screen that we have to go to apply for OCI is ociservices.gov.in. So in here, we have different options to use for that OCI services. And here we are going to the option OCI registration. And then click on proceed. There you will be seeing a lot of options on the right, on the left of the screen. You have that new OCI registration using a PIO card, and all these options. The first option that we have to use is new OCI registration. And when you are while you are in this screen, it will show to you to proceed. You can click on the proceed. There are other options that are useful while you are filling the applications for this OCI. I'll come back to that each of that option wherever it is applicable, and then I can explain take you through to those options at that time. After that, this is the instructions for filling up application form. You can read out all the instructions on how to fill the application. Better to read all these instructions before you proceed on that one. If you are already well aware of how to fill the applications, you can just accept it and then go forward. But I recommend to read out all these instructions, if possible, to save it in a different screens, or to take the screenshots of all these instructions, so that whenever you need, you can again refer to that during that any point of doubt you have while filling the application. So here I click accept, and then now it will ask you to fill up that key, so that it will take out that you are human, not any machine. Here we have two options. One is file new application or complete partially filled application. I'll come back to this application. First, we will start with that file new application. When you click on that one, it will take you to the new screen, new browser, or a new window in the browser. Here, you have to fill up all the details. For me, like I'm just showcasing here as a sample, and from the Canadian citizens. So I will select um, the country as Canada, and the mission. We have like different jurisdictions in the country. So based on that, wherever you live, accordingly, you can select that appropriate jurisdiction or the mission. Here, my mission is Toronto. And then you have to start filling up your details of the applicant. So you can give that surname, given name, sex, and which is the gender, date of birth, country of birth, all these details, each of the details that is mentioned as asterisk, that you have to fill it up. Even I recommend, like with the columns or the fields for which that is not mentioned, better to fill up there as well, with all the available information, so that your application can be processed easily. So here I'll give that surname as I can't give my details in there, so I'm just giving the masked details something. Please enter the details as per the Canadian passport. All these details that you're entering in this section are as per the Canadian passport that you received. So the country of birth, you have to select that country of birth of yours. So based on the country of birth that you select, it will ask you to enter that details of that place of birth and everything. So try to provide the details as per your Canadian passport here again. So if you see in the Canadian passport, in the place of birth, they have only one uh, provision of providing the city and the country. So if there's a suppose if you are from India and the city you are born is in Delhi, then in your Canadian passport it will come as can Delhi IND. So you don't have to mention that Delhi IND as the city name, but instead here we have an options of like if it is India, you can select the state. Here I said like it is Delhi, and you can give the place as Delhi. Rather than giving like Delhi, comma or Delhi space IND, you can just provide it as like Delhi. And the current nationality, it is as per your Canadian passport. So it will be Canada. Canada. And national identification number, you can give the Canadian passport number here. And you just mentioned a visible mark, martial status. And after that, it will ask you to provide that passport details. Again, here it is Canadian passport details. Date of issue of the passport, date of expiry, place of issue, previous passport number if available. If you are applying for OCI as a new citizen of Canada, then you won't be having this old passport number. You can just leave it as blank. And then these details, applicant's family details. So here you have to mention applicant's family details as per your Indian passport. Say suppose Indian passport, if your father name, mother name, and everything will be mentioned in there, you have to type it exactly as it is, letter by letter. If it is space, you have to give space. If it is comma, you have to give comma, and each letter should match as per the passport. So if there is any mistake, any typo in there, the application can be rejected, or you might be asked to apply or submit some more documents. So I will ask for like to be careful when you're submitting these details as per your passport. Again, the nationality, you can mention your family details. Please check thoroughly before you submit this. Check thoroughly each and every details that is provided before you submit the application or before you print the application. Spouse name, you just have to mention as per the spouse name mentioned in your passport. In case if it is not added in the passport, please mention the spouse name as per the passport of Canadian passport. So here the spouse nationality, it will be that current nationality. If your spouse is also Canadian along with you, and if you are applying for OCI for her too, or her or him, then you have to apply for the passport OCI as a separate applicant, but the details of your spouse will go in here in your application too. For husbands, wife's details, for wives, husband's details. You need to provide that marriage registration if you are married. If you are selecting here, it has like unmarried or single, unmarried or single, you won't be having that spouse details here. The spouse details, you don't need to provide them. But in case if you are selecting it as married, spouse details will be asked to populate, or spouse details will be asked to be entered. So you just entered all the spouse details. If only your application, or if you only have applied for citizen of Canada, and if you have not applied for your spouse, then still you need to provide your spouse current nationality details. Like as per the current nationality, if the spouse is still an Indian or some other country, you have to provide details according to the passport of that country, like your spouse current passport. If they are not converted into Canadian citizens, then you need to provide the old passport details only. All the details of the current passport of your spouse. If he or she is Canadian, then the Canadian passport details. If he or she is still Indian, then Indian passport details, or any other country for that sake. So relationship with root Indian, this will be self. If you are applying, uh, if you are trying to surrender, if you have already surrendered your current Indian passport and then trying to apply for this OCI, then relation with the root Indian will be self. There are some cases where you need to mention that the relation is through the father, mother, grandmother, grandfather, and something and all. So when with those kind of thing, for when you are applying for those kind of applicants, then you have to select the right choice here. Say suppose if you are applying for a kid who is born in Canada, but the father and mother are still Indians or something, then you need to apply for that kid OCI with the root with this or relation with the root Indian. It will be like father or mother, because based on their Indian passports, but still that the kid is born as Canadian. In Canada, they are born, so you will be applying for them. In that case, you can mention it as like father, mother, or something. But in here, if you are applying for yourself or for your spouse who is also a Canadian or something, still it will be going it as self. So after entering all the details, save and continue. It will take you to the next screen where it will ask for your current occupation details in the country, in the current country that you are residing. So here the occupation you might enter, choose anything from here. If nothing in this drop down list match with your occupation, then you can mention it as others and provide the occupation details. Say suppose you are some contractor doing some contracting job and everything and all. You can mention those occupation details. If you are contracted, then you can say that it is self-employed, and you can mention that employee your contracting number or incorporation number. Or if you are working for a client, then you have to say, suppose if you are working in Tim Hortons, you can mention it as like, I work with Tim Hortons, and where do you work with the Tim Hortons, that address details and everything you can enter. So I'm going with an assumption that you are working for the employer. Here, in case this sample, I kept it as like Tim Hortons, and the address line, it is like 12 Bayview Avenue, some address you can, the address of that employer where you are currently working. So that will go in here. And your employee contact number, you can mention 416-299-3999 something. Yeah, the proper contact number. In case the embassy want to contact your uh, employer. I never heard of like anything that they go and contact the employer, but in case they ask that one, it is your responsibility to provide to share the right details. And here goes your current address. Your current address also you can mention with all the proper details, area code. Area code is nothing but the postal code of Canada. And the mobile number of your mobile number, telephone number. If you have the telephone number, you can just mention the same thing here. And the email ID. These details are it is recommended to provide the accurate details with these things, because you will get all that status related for the OCI, and you will get your numbers and everything from to these contact details. So it is recommended to provide always the right contact details with the email ID. You will get a lot of communication for the OCI with the email ID, and sometimes like you will get text messages on your text for the OCI applications. So it is recommended to provide the proper applications, proper contact details here. So when you are while you are filling the application on a temporary basis, it will give you the temporary application ID. So I suggest you to copy this one number and save it in a write pad, or write it down on a paper or something, so that in case if there is anything wrong, anything went wrong, and if you are in midway of filling the application, it will always help you to complete these details. When I go for the next here, okay, so here are these details, like verify your information. All that information that you are entered in the last two screens, it will ask you to verify. Make sure that you are verifying it is like twice, thrice, so that all the details are copied in there and all the options are selected properly as per that type of application that you are submitting. So mostly it will be like applicant information. These details are from your current Canadian passport, or yeah, it will be from the current Canadian passport. Family information, this will be from your Indian passport, or from the Canadian passport. I don't think that there will be any details on the Canadian passport, or any other country. Like if you are applying from any other country, and if you have details of your family information on the passport, then you should match with that information. Otherwise, you can provide from the Indian passport. The passport information that you are providing here is Canadian passport. Even for the spouse also, what are the passport details you are providing here? These are from the these are from the Canadian passport. The details that are mentioned here. So these are for the spouse. If father and mother also are Canadian, then you can provide that as Canadian. It's not asking for any passport details or any such details here for the father and mother. But when it comes to the spouse, it will ask you for that passport details. So according to that, your spouse's current passport, I'll recommend you to enter those details here. If he or she is a Canadian, you have to provide the Canadian details. If he or she is still Indian or some other country, you have to provide those details. It is current, whatever that current working passport, that one. Obviously, for the Indian citizenship, as per the Indian embassy rules, we are not allowed to keep dual citizenship. So you may be from any other country, but still, like if you are applying for OCI, it means that you have surrendered your Indian citizenship. That's why, or you never had a Indian citizenship and you are requesting for the OCI. In that case, like you should be using the current passport details on. All the details here, even this residential address details also, make sure that it is matching letter by letter, word by word from your passport, or from these details, whatever that ID that you choose to provide as an address proof, be it your driving license, be it your any other card, any other information where that address is printed in there. All that valid address proofs are listed in the instructions. So from there, if you can submitting any one of those documents, ensure that each of that letters from this columns is matching that address that you have given in the address proof. If it is 15 Bayview Avenue, enter as 15 Bayview Avenue with no commas required, because if you enter a comma in the while you fill up, it will come up with a comma in the printout. It might not show that verification details completely in here, but when you take the print of the application, it will come with a double comma. So at the end of the address line, you no need to put any commas. The commas is already automatically taken from the system when you take the printout. And in your address proof, if it is Bayview 15, make sure to enter it as Bayview 15. Never go like to enter it as like 15 Bayview, assuming that people will understand. They won't look for anything. They will just match it up with the address proof that you have provided, letter by letter, literally. Here, I was telling you about the temporary application ID. Say suppose um, this one you are copied, and they say that, okay, you want to modify something, you can always go back to modify and then choose like which screen do you want to modify. And here, while during making the modification, or something happened and this screen is closed. This screen is closed. Now you are going back to that OCI services.gov.in/welcomes website. And in this screen, you are back to this screen, and you don't have to start that registration again from the new OCI as a fresh registration details and all. We have an option there to uh, open that partially filled application and then start from that. So for that one, it is still OCI registration new one. Proceed with here, accept all the conditions and enter that captcha. After entering the captcha, earlier as I mentioned, there is an option called complete partially filled application or file new application. We went with file new application and we got the temporary application ID. We entered some details and the window had closed by mistake. And then we want to use the temporary application ID to complete that application again. For that one, we can go for this complete partially filled application. Here it will ask you for the temporary application ID, and then you can enter that details again, captcha code. When you go ahead, it will take you to your application. To continue registration of partially filled application, click here. To exit and complete later, click here. Obviously, you will go to that, click here to complete the partially filled application. You can see all the details are still saved. Those are not gone. Those are still saved. Just verify. It is always better to verify whether everything is still there or not, and then update and continue. Here we have entered all the details, and then I'll go next. After you feel that, okay, everything I entered correct, then only submit this, because once you submit this, this temporary application ID will no longer be there, but it will give you a form application number. So I can show you that. Here it is showing the form application number. This at this moment, all the application details and this file reference number, everything would have been sent to you, the email ID that you have provided in there, and a confirmation also. Sometimes a confirmation also might be sent as a text to your mobile phones, in some cases only. Not every time it can happen, and not in every country it might be there. But an email will be received in your inbox for sure. You can either, if you have not saved this number, you don't have to worry. You will be having those details in your email box. This is one part of it. It mentions as till now you have successfully registered part A. Now we are going to move for the part B, where you will be submitting your photo, signature, and all those details. I might not be able to walk you through to all the screens because I can't submit the photo for the random generated ones, but I can still walk you through and then see that what are the documents that might be required in there. Now, if you have that image, you have to have a 2x2, 2 inches by 2 inches photo for the OCI application. You need to have a photo, that same digital copy and the soft copy, because the same photo that you are going to upload here in this page, when you are ready with this one, in this page, it will ask you to choose the file. It will ask you to upload the photo. The same photo you need to upload, and you need to provide as a copy. One single copy is required at the counter of the embassy or the registered or the registered services or the agencies of the embassy who collects this OCI applications. At their counter, you need to provide the same photo that you are uploading in here. Here, there are two sections. One is uploading the photo, and another one is like uploading the applicant's signature. So for all the adults who are 14 or who are 18 plus years of age should sign their applications. So they need to upload the signature. How you can upload the signature? You can sign on any plain paper, take a scan of that signature, or if you have an e-signature registered for you, you can use that one. Or you then that's corresponding upload it's picture of that signature. You can just choose the file and you can upload it. Similarly, the photo also, the digital copy, once you get the photo from your photo studios or somewhere, like they ask for the digital copy of that photo. The same photo that you are going to get the print, the copies, the same copy, digital copy also you can request. The same digital copy, you need to upload it here. So after you upload the photos, here I don't think that I can move forward without uploading the photos. Yeah, I have something to upload here. Some random things I'm just uploading for the application going on process, but don't follow this one and just upload some random things. Here you have to upload the photo. So I just like selecting this one. I have some photo, and you have an option to crop the photo to match that length also, which is 2 by 2. In case like if it is not falling here and there, you can just upload that one. So here the option is to, it is giving me to crop the photo. I cropped it and it says that cropped selection is fine. Next, I move on to my signature. Make sure that you are giving the signature here, and you can crop that signature also to fit in that signature box here. If you see that, if you can see my screen, the box is visible here, how much of the signature. Make sure that your all signature is fitting in that box. If not, like you can reduce that zoom in, zoom out and all in your JPG, and then upload that picture here. So when it says that cropped selection is fine, cropped selection is fine, you are good to upload. Upload that photo and signature. After you upload, it will take you to that further processing of the application. Here you have an option of like, this is your photo, it will come underneath it, your signature, it will come. Like in our passports, we have the photo and the signatures. So likewise, it will come. So this OCI is also nothing but a booklet, like a passport without any pages for the visa or anything required in there. That's what like I heard, it will be coming in that way. So it will, in the passport, current Indian passport, if you see, you have the photo and the signature beneath that photo. Similarly, the OCI will also will be appearing when it is issued to you. So if you feel that the photo or the signature is not in the right way, you have an option to upload it again. Or if you feel that, okay, I have uploaded successfully, just go with that one and I say that I have uploaded successfully. Then it will take you to that further processing to and submit all that documents. Here we are actually now going to the part B. Click on proceed to part B. These are the list of documents that are it is showing you to upload. Then there are certain details you need to enter. Read out all the questions carefully and provide answers to that one, either yes or no. For each of the answers, if you are providing no for these things, mostly these are criminal checks and everything and all, mostly everything is fine. But in case if there is anything that is yes for you, then you need to get a letter or no NOC that they will call, no objection from the embassy. You have to go to embassy and then get that no objection for that purpose of whatever that you have mentioned as for that one, and then apply for the OCI. Otherwise, the agencies that are helping the embassies to collect the OCI applications, they won't be able to help you. And next, it will ask you for that present nationality details, acquisition method. If you are citizen, if you are becoming Canadian citizen and gave up that Indian citizenship, then you have to go for the naturalization. And this is your uh, Canadian citizenship date. This date, ensure that it is as per the date that is mentioned in your citizenship certificate. So there is a date mentioned on the citizenship certificate when you have become the citizen of Canada. Ensure that you provide that date here. And the next, previous nationality of applicant. So you have surrendered your Indian passport. So it can be like Indian and or for that sake, like any other country that you have provided submitted your passports. So here it goes that previous number. Do you have any relatives in India? If you have any relatives in India, choose yes, and then it will ask you to provide the details. You can enter as many details as required in here, as many members you can add, but I don't recommend to add like 2 or 3 more than that. Just keep it simple, 2 or 3, and then close it off. If you choose to not to mention anything relatives in India, you can always choose saying that you don't have any relatives in India. That's also fine. Has any applicant faced criminal proceeding? Based on your answers that you have mentioned in above, you just have to mention select yes or no. I'll select no in that case and then provide submit. And after you successfully submit that, then it will take you to that documents upload part. You need to upload certain documents as proofs when you are submitting this application online. That application you need to take print and submit in paper for all the at the centers, like either through the agencies or at the embassy directly, and then provide all that details of the documents that you are submitting in copies as well. I'll go walk you through those documents that are need to be uploading and also need to be taken to that center. After you click on that one, it will take you to the screen where you need to upload the documents. Here in this drop-down list, you have many list of documents. Based on that type of application that you are submitting, not all the things might be applicable to you. In case if you are a new Canadian citizen and you want to apply for OCI after you have surrendered your Indian passport, I can guide you through that one for adults and for kids of that with adults with the families of kids and all. So here for the main applicant, it is current passport. The current passport is nothing but your Canadian passport showing your face and the details, name and other details of your so that page. You have to upload the front page of the Canadian passport where it shows your photo and the name details and other things. You need to provide as an adult because the occupation you have mentioned in the screen earlier, you need to provide your employment details here. If you are a full-time employee, say suppose if you are working for Tim Hortons full-time, you can go and ask for that employee letter from that agency or the employer that you are working. That one you can work, you can submit. But in case if you are incorporated, if you are having your own self business or self-employed, then you need to provide a cover letter supporting that employment, saying that since you are a contractor or you are self-employed, you won't be able to provide that employment letter from your employer. So asking them to consider the submitting that cover letter as an employee letter. You can submit your incorporation details in that cover letter if you want, if you are self-employed, or otherwise they may ask for you that more documents when the application going through. Next document that you need to upload is Indian origin proof. This is your Indian passport, which has that surrendered stamp on that one, which it says that cancelled or surrendered due to acquiring that other citizenship. Make sure that you are giving that page and the photo page and the last page of the passport, which has your address and family details. All these pages, if these are in like if the photo and the cancelled stamp is in one page, or one page means two pages side by side, you can get that scan of that one in one PDF or something. And then the last photo page also in the same PDF. Whatever that you have to scan from your Indian passport, any number of pages, all the pages should be as part of one PDF, and that one PDF should not go above that 1 MB size. So if in case like if you have like multiple pages in your PDF and it is going above one PDF, 1 MB, try to use any compressor which is available online, and then compress that PDF to a lower size and then try to upload. And the next document after these three that you will be providing is your marriage certificate in case if you are married. If you are single and unmarried, you don't need to provide this marriage certificate. And then I think if you are not married, single and all, you might be asked to provide the relationship certificate. Better to check with the BLS or sorry, like the agency or the embassy to see like what document that you need to upload. Is it either marriage certificate? I'm sure like it will be marriage certificate if you are married. But in case if you are not married and single, then maybe it is asking you to provide the relationship certificate, which is your birth certificate or anything that proves that your relationship with that if you are applying it as self, the relation with the root Indian, if you have mentioned it as self, I don't think like it is relationship certificate is required. But if you are applying it as like a father, mother, grandmother or anything, then I think relationship certificate is required. It can be your birth certificate or any other certificate that which shows that relation with the root Indian. And then in case like if your spouse is already a OCI holder, and you are applying for your OCI now, then you have to provide your spouse OCI card as well, and you otherwise it's not applicable. And the next thing is like spouse passport, which is your spouse current passport, be it Indian passport or the Canadian passport, whichever it is the current passport, you need to upload that document as well. So the other documents that are mentioned here is Indian visa. It means like if you are in Indian visa, you're not any Indian citizen, but you are having Indian visa, then that Indian visa you need to provide that, upload that copy of it. And the joint declaration of subsisting of marriage. Please read about this one in the instructions. When you need to provide the job declaration of subsisting of marriage, it is clearly mentioned the scenario when you have to provide. Read through that one and then provide that. If you are already having a PIO, then PIO card, that provide that PIO card, upload that one in there. This is for the adult. If you are applying for your spouse, then also the same set of documents. In case if your spouse is not working, still you need to provide the employment letter or the cover letter mentioning that he or she is not working currently, and you cannot provide that employment letter for that reason. And all the applications, all the documents which I mentioned earlier, the main 5 documents: current passport, employment letter, Indian origin proof, marriage certificate if married, and spouse passport, current passport, spouse current passport, it is mentioned. Now, in case like if you are applying for your kids along with you, then current passport, there will not be any employment letter, it is required for them. Indian origin proof, it is required, and relationship certificate, which is the child's birth certificate, you need to upload. That's it. Like you need to upload current passport, Indian origin proof, relationship certificate, and one more thing is your marriage certificate. And in case the couple of the parents of the kid are not living together, separated, divorced or something, then you need to provide a joint declaration of that one, providing that you don't have any objection to apply for a OCA for your kid, or you don't have an objection for your other spouse to apply for the OCI for the kid. So those kind of things. If you don't have that kind of issues, if couples are still together, then they can provide the marriage certificate of that couple in their kids application. So for the kids application, current passport, Indian origin proof, marriage certificate, and the relationship certificate, which is birth certificate, you need to provide. So after once you complete all the uploads, then next thing, here I will go and I will choose a file. So all files that are acceptable here is only PDFs. There is no JPG. There is nothing. It is acceptable. Only PDF. That too, each of the document can have the size less than 1 MB only. If any of the document is more than 1 MB, that is not allowed to be uploaded. So make sure that you are uploading all the related documents. So after you submit, after here, I cannot upload anything valid thing. So I don't have anything to show you in the next page. So after you have uploaded successfully, then it will show you the same kind of confirmation after you uploaded the photo, the way it is showing, the same kind of confirmation it will show, and it will ask you to submit finally. After you submit that finally, then next thing that you can do is take the print of that application. In case like if anywhere it is the same thing happened and this window is closed, this file reference number, using that one, you can come back to that application, but you cannot modify any of the parts, any of the details that you entered in the part A section, because those details are taken. In case if there is, after you print the application and if you find out any small mistake or any minor mistakes are there, again you have to go through the same process, go for the new application, fill it all the details and submit it. That's the only way to go through. There is no way of like once you have submitted the part A and you got this T number, you cannot go back and modify them again. If there is any mistake, you have to do a new application again altogether. Say suppose like you have completed all the applications, but while uploading the photos, you have done something and you want to upload the photos again. There is an option for you. Uh, Here, when I was telling you initially, there are different options here. Here it says that OCI document upload. So clicking on this option, going for the proceed, and providing your passport number and the file reference number, you can still try to upload that documents. So it will mention in the documents uploaded page, after you upload each of the documents, it will show that there is a chance for those documents, like you can view the documents for 5 times and you can re-upload the documents for 3 times. And after that, re-upload is also not possible. You have to do a new application. I don't think like you need that many chances to upload the correct applications, but still, in case if you need, then you have an option of like uploading your image again. But if you are uploading this image again and you have already taken the prints, after you taken the print, like if you are doing anything with the image, then you have to go for the reprint again, because on the application print, it will show you that photo and the signature and all those details in there. And say suppose after you uploaded, you have completed the application, you want to do the status inquiry of your OCI here. You can always go and check for that passport number and enter your file reference number and enter the captcha. It will show you the current status of your OCI application. Say suppose like after you completed that finally, but you forgot to take the print of it and close the window. No need to worry. Take that application number from your email ID, go here, and then reprint that application. OCI registration reprint, OCI miscellaneous reprint. I haven't explained about OCI miscellaneous here. Those are that options that are available in the OCI, where you can apply for miscellaneous, like it is also called OCI renewal is part of this OCI miscellaneous, or you want to change any details in the OCI after it is issued, that will go under OCI miscellaneous, and it has a different fees. Now, after you have submitted all this application details and you got the application print from the OCI, next thing is you have to take this paper application, printed application to that agency or the embassy and submit at the counter there. So for that one, I think some agencies will allow you to take appointments. So you need to check for the corresponding agency and take the appointment. And on your appointment day, take the printout of the OCI application along with all the supporting documents. The checklist is mentioned, the checklist for OCI. Say suppose if you are applying under Toronto jurisdiction of Canada, then there is a checklist available in online. Try to take the checklist and take out each of the applicable prints for your checklist for all that documents that are required. You might be able to upload only 5 documents, but still, like when you are taking the application to the counter, you might need to provide more documents as per that checklist provided in the as per that list of documents provided in the checklist. So ensure to follow the checklist. And the fees structure also, try to check the fees on the website of the agency or the Indian embassy before you take that one. I think for the OCI, they will ask you to take the demand draft from the banks. They don't accept cash or debit for the OCI. You need to provide the demand draft under the Consulate General of India. If it is Toronto, you need to take the printout as like you need to take the demand draft on the name of Consulate General of India or Consulate General of India, comma Toronto. Ensure that the comma Toronto is also mentioned in that demand draft. Otherwise, like you might have to visit the bank during your appointment time, which is time taking again. So the fees amount, I can mention it as of today, but it won't be applicable because that keeps changing. So when you are applying on that day, like whatever that fees it is there, try to get that demand draft for that amount, and then go to that appointment with that demand drafts for each of the applicant. Like if you are applying for family of 3, for 2 adults and a kid, or for 1 adult and 2 kids or anything. For each of the applicant, you need to take the demand draft of the applicable OCI fees. After that, you can take it to the counter and submit all the documents that are required. For kids, it is mentioned in the checklist of the OCI. You need to provide that parents' address proof, parents' passports, parents' surrender certificate, parents' marriage certificate, many other details for the kids will be there. Try to follow those checklist one by one. And if you have any queries, try to leave a comment in this one. I'll try to answer for those people like who have some queries on there on what documents need to be submitted. I think all the information that you need for the OCI is available here, and I wish you all the good luck. Thank you.